Hi, welcome back to the course. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube in one hand and make an app in the other. Just kidding, you won't be learning the Rubik's Cube part, but we'll be making a cool project and we'll also learn about user interfaces. So let's dive into that. So what app will we make in this video, you might ask. So we'll be making this app which on pressing tap will generate a random number every time. We'll also use image view, text view, and a button in this video, and we'll learn how to call this programmatically using Kotlin. But before making the app, let's learn about user interfaces, because there's no reason why we shouldn't. So let's jump into user interfaces now. So what is a UI? A UI generally means a space where the user and the machine interacts. In our case, it's an Android phone. A good UI is essential for any app. Let's say someone downloads an app from the Play Store and it has all the features that they need, but the UI doesn't suit them or the color is dull. It's the UI just lacking. Do you think they will keep the app? No, they will just delete the app right away. Yes, welcome to reality.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to get me.
So a good UI is must for any app that you build. So what is a pixel? A pixel is the smallest individual unit of any image. So more the pixel, the more real and crisp the image is going to look like. So this is a less pixelated image of
And his name is John C.
John Cena, and this is a high pixelated image. He is looking more crisp and real in this image. Okay, let's just admit that you just fell for the old John Cena joke. Moving on. Yeah, this image is more crisp than the previous image. Not this previous image, but this one. Yeah. Now, what is dots per inch? This term is used to describe the resolution of any image. Likewise, the more the DPI, the more clearer the image is going to look like. Since different Android phones or different screens have their own different DPIs, Android Studio has come up with a thing called logical density bucket. And what it does is it categorizes devices based on its DPI. So let's say if a screen has a DPI approximately equal to 160, it comes under the category MDPI. That is medium density, or it is also the baseline density. It comes under this category. So let's say a screen is having 245 dpi dots per inch, then it will come under HDPI. So this is how Android Studio has categorized every devices. And moving on, since every device has its own DPIs, dots per inch, it is a tiresome process to be making a UI for every different screen. So to avoid this, Android Studio has come up with a thing called density independent pixels, and this helps to keep the UI elements the same physical size across all the different density devices. As you can see, there are five screens with different DPIs, but the buy button is of the same physical size in all these screens because of DP or density independent pixels. So whenever we do UI in our Android Studio, we need to make sure that we use DP. Yeah, let's start building our app. Let's open Android Studio, new project, and then empty activity. Let's name this, let's say random number generator. Cool, finish. Let's wait for it to load, and it's done. Let's open our activity main.xml file. This is our design screen. We won't be needing this hello world right now, so let's remove that. And so for this app, we'll be adding a image view, a text view and a button. So let's start with adding our image view. Okay, avatar, and like every time you do your design, it's better to have the split screen because you can see your XML code and do the design simultaneously. So as you can see, our image view is added to the code. Let's center this view. We can do that by adding constraints. Cool. Now it's in the center. So when you look at the XML code, the layout width is given as wrap content, and also the layout height is wrap content. What that means is the allocated size gets automatically adjusted to the image original size. So if the image is pretty big, width and height automatically gets adjusted to the original size of the image. We can also specify a specific dimension. We can do that by, let's say, let's give the height as 200 dp. Cool. Let's say 250. Cool. So we can also change the width to match parent, and what it does is it extends the width till the parent layout. So as you can see, the parent layout is this entire screen, and the width is also like matches to the parent. We'll leave this as wrap content. Now let's add a text view and a button. Done. Cool. Text view and button is added. Now let's add constraints to both of them. Horizontally and vertically. For this button, horizontal and vertical. Cool. Let's push this text view slightly to the left so that it looks nice. Let's edit our text view. Let's increase the size of this text size. Let's change this to 24 sp. Cool. Let's edit our text. It says text view now. Let's change this to the number is number view. This should work. Okay, now let's give a color to this text. Text color. We'll give black. Cool. Now let's add a background color to this layout. And to do that, say Android and background. So there's default colors in inbuilt in Android. Let's choose something from that. Okay, cool. This looks nice. Okay, done. Our image view is there, text view and a button is added, and constraints for all the views is given. Every view as something known as ID. We can use that when we program in our main activity. So for image view, the ID is given as image view. We can also edit that. Let's change the ID to, let's say, number image. The ID is edited. The ID of this image view is number image, with which we can access this image view when we program in our main activity. Now let's jump on to main activity where we do our program. So this is our main activity. As you can see, there's something called a class main activity. This is your main class inside which you will write all your functions and code inside this main class. So there's override fun thing. Let's not talk about override now, but this fun is a keyword for function. So this block of code which you can see here is a function. The function is onCreate function in this case. OnCreate function is called immediately when the app starts running. So when we click on run, the user is shown activity main, and behind the screen, this onCreate function is called immediately after the app starts running. So this first line is called. Let's talk about this in later video. Now there's set content view. As the name suggests, This line sets the layout activity main to the user. Now we can code from next line. Let's access our button now. Let's say val tap button is equal to find view by id button or dot id dot button. Cool. This is the id. The id of button is button. Let's change this text to tab. Okay, okay, the id of this button is button. So with that we can access the button view. Input. Okay, the it's showing error on button. It is asking us to import the necessary packages to use this feature. So let's import tab button dot set on click listener. Okay, this function, this block of code runs once our button is pressed. So inside, after clicking the button, we let's generate a random number now. Val random number is equal to 1.9 dot random. Okay, this generates a random number from 1 to 9. So now the random underscore number as a random number from 1 and 9. So now let's access our text view. And to do that, say random text is equal to find view by id text view or dot id dot text view. Cool. And now let's set the text to our text view. And to do that, random underscore text dot text equal to the number is dollar random number. Cool. So this dollar random underscore number prints the value of the random number here. This is actually a syntax of Kotlin. You might not understand this now, but in my next video, we'll be learning about Kotlin basics. So after watching that, you will understand this better. So now let's run our app. Let's tap on the tab button. Okay, now okay, every time we press the button, a random number is generated, and that number will be from 1 to 9. So it works. Now let's add our images to our drawable file folder. Okay, these are our images. Let's copy these and paste it inside drawable. Okay, done. Now let's access our image view, and to do that, val image is equal to underscore image is equal to find view by id image view dot id dot what was our id for image. It was number image dot id dot number image. Nice. Now to let's say val image is equal to when random. This when is actually a function in Kotlin. We'll learn more about this in my next video. Say r dot drawable dot 1. When the random number is 1, the image gets the value of r dot drawable dot 1. This 1 is the file name of the image 1. Cool. Likewise, we'll do for all the other number. Cool. We also need to have a else dot drawable dot empty. This val variable image will be having the name or the image. We need to add this to our image view, and to do that we can say random image dot set image resource. Done. Now let's run our app. Nice. Let's press on tab. Okay, the text is also 4 and the image is also 4. All right. The text and the image is matching for every number, so this is working. This is how you access your views programmatically in Kotlin. So that is all for this video. We'll be learning about basics of Kotlin in my next video. So until then, it's a bye from me.
何？お前はもう死んでいる。